nation. Artbeat Caribbean, yeah. Power by nation. When we listen to creator stories, it's creators on creators.
But that's just an
Lights.
Oh, you rolling? Okay. We are
Camera.
rolling. Action.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
Good to see you.
I know, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you. So what have you been up to lately?
Oh my gosh, what have I not been up to? Girl.
Top three things.
Well, one, trying to get my mind right.
Okay.
Two, trying to get my body right.
Always.
And three, trying to have a change of pace.
Okay. I like three. Let's unpack that a little bit. What about changing your pace? Faster, slower? What do you...
You know, I'm going to say slower, because in terms of when you're working all the time, constantly, that burnout and just feeling like you have to do every audition, you have to say yes to every opportunity.
Yes.
You have to, yes, like you can't say no.
Yes.
And then I just feel like I need to take some time to take a step back, breathe, and be conscious about it's okay to say no and like do something else or like have a change of pace, because it gets really tiresome and it gets really repetitive that sometimes then it gets in here and like, yeah. So I feel like I've reached a point where I gotta step back a little bit.
How do you feel about the grind culture? Are you just like anti that, or are you more like, you know, if it's my season, then I know this is the time that I have to give it my all. And then when I'm off season, then I respect my time and I work on other things.
That to my point, that's where I'm trying to get at, because I think I've only known grind culture.
Yep.
I've only known keep working. Why stop working? Like, if this is my life, so I don't have time for anything else really.
Right.
And that's where I kind of lose myself, because when you don't get an opportunity and that rejection hits you, you're just like, you devalue yourself because you base it on that. And then, so who am I? What am I doing if I'm not working, if I'm not acting? And
right.
It's like,
so you're not getting that external validation.
Exactly.
You feel some type of way about yourself.
Trying to find me and the things that I like, live a life outside of work in order to be fulfilled. And then when the opportunities come, it just makes it better. It's like a plus instead of like, I need this, you know? So you can focus more on, I want this.
Right. I like that. So how long have you been in the industry?
About to age myself, girl. No, well, I've been doing this for 13 years. Going on 14, I want to say. Yeah.
It's amazing. I've only been doing it for 6 years.
Okay.
And already, you know, there are times where I do feel some of that burnout, where I feel like I gave the best audition and I didn't get it, right? And they gave it to somebody else. And I've learned to take a page out of your book. I've learned to figure out who I am outside of this, more like living the art. So when that opportunity does hit, I'm ready. So I'm working out more now, which I didn't before. I was mainly focused on just getting as many auditions, but as actors, we have dry spells, right? Yep. I feel like in life in general, people go through dry spells, you know, married couples go through dry spells. And what are you going to do during that time, right? Are you reinventing yourself? Are you working out? Are you taking classes? Are you in training? Do you have a coach? There has to be other things that fulfill you so that you don't feel so much of the absence. But that's a question I wanted to ask you. That was good. Cool.
I have a question now, because something you said really stood out to me.
Okay.
When you work so hard, you feel like you did the best. Wow, this take was amazing. That's me. And then someone else books it. When you see that other person who booked it, what happens?
I mean, do you want a truth and a lie, or?
I want all, girl, because I need to know if I'm living in this world by myself, or we all think the same and feel the same way.
No. You're not living in the world by yourself. So first off, I've removed this concept of like, I'm not a hater. Okay. Yes. I'm not a hater. I appreciate the opportunities that come to me, and I have to learn from the opportunities that don't come to me. And if they went to somebody else, congratulations. but I'm also not going to watch it. Okay. I may watch it at some point. Right. And then, get that validation. Like I could have done better, but, to be honest, I was offered a role, right? And I connected really well with the director. She happened to be from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx as well. So she and I connected, and I thought we had such a good, just off script conversation. And then my audition for her, she was like, this was amazing. I loved it. And, my husband, who also works with me on film, on set, loved it too. And then a week later, I'm like tempted to text her and say like, hey, what's going on? And I didn't say that. And I waited, and I did get a message on Backstage, as a matter of fact. And she said that they just decided to go in a different direction. And I was like, what direction though?
Right.
What direction?
That doesn't make sense.
Because at least I'm like, would you have given me an opportunity to audition for that, right? For the direction you were going into. And it was going to be shot in North Carolina. Was going to have my own, green room area to get dressed, like my wardrobe. And it was going to be shooting for like a week and a half.
Oh.
It was going to pay really well. And I was like, oh, this is going to be it. And then, with a trailer and everything with my name on it, I was like, this is going to be, yes, it was going to be a Clear Shot. Okay. To the heart, for real. Shout out to Clear Shot for having us, by the way.
Amazing.
Let's cheers to that. Let's cheers to them for having actors on actors.
I know. That's super cool. But I'm not going to lie.
What do you do?
I used to be a hater.
Okay. So we've grown.
We've matured. But
Good.
I used to be a hater because I felt like, they talk about the overnight successes when someone comes out, and then you see like, oh no, they've really been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that person. Like I feel like a dinosaur. Like I put in the hours, I put in the work, I started as an extra, like I did all the things, right, that I went in order. And so when I feel like, okay, this is my moment, this is my time, and then someone else gets it, for me, it used to be when I would see who that person was that got it, I would feel like, oh, maybe I was better than them or something. It was always something. It was like an ego thing until I realized I would start watching like casting directors speak on certain things. And half of the time, your tape doesn't even make it to the table. So I would always put like that value on me, like, oh man, I suck, or I'm this, or I'm whatever. Half of the time, they didn't even see you, girl. And so I got to a point where I reached, I auditioned for this one. I don't remember what it's called now, but I auditioned for something, and I got I got a pin, and I was like, oh my God, my first pin. Wow. Like we're going places.
Okay.
Didn't get it. And then when I saw who did get it, I was so upset because I was like, this girl has done this, and that. She's a name. People know who she is. Why would you even allow me to audition if you know you're going to give it to someone who already has a certain, a certain level status? And then it just made me think like I had to rewire my brain. Like, girl, you're lucky you were even
considered
competing with some, you know what I mean?
Right, at that level.
So I had to reframe my mind to think in those kinds of ways and be more like grateful and
appreciative for the small win.
Right. Girl, I'm being considered with, this girl was in West Side Story. Okay. And it was between me and her, and I have no credits. Like, I really can't.
Yeah. You have to rewire your brain into thinking what's for me is going to be for me. Exactly. And no one can take it away from me. But
for whoever else, it's their time.
Right. It's their time. Now, in this time where Nepo babies are a thing, okay, that's always a tricky one because there's different ways to climb that ladder. And, to your point, in corporate America, it happens all the time too. Like they will put out a post for the job when they know in reality they're going to hire internally, right? So that happens I feel like just in every industry, right? And you grow the thick skin in order to just be able to take it on the chin and keep it moving. But Nepo babies are a thing for me, right? Because you find out how they got there and who they know. And when you're starting as a new artist, when you just, that bug bites you and you're like, this is what I want to do. You're starting from the bottom.
Right.
You don't know anyone, right? So obviously Cindy Crawford's daughter is also a model. Go figure, right? She didn't pursue a speech pathology career, right?
No one in my family
know,
has ever done anything.
Right.
Really.
So we're pioneers in our own, in our own right. And I feel that there should be more opportunities for people starting out, right? Where you did mention like Offset that you are represented by management now, right? Okay. So how long has that been going and how did you find that?
That has been the journey of my life, to be completely honest, because I've only been with them for a couple of months. And again, I've been doing this for 13 years and it took me this long to secure management. And that was because a lot of the opportunities and the credits that I do have were mostly booked by me.
Right.
Me hustling, me grinding.
On backstage, casting networks.
Networks, all the things, just me advocating for myself.
Okay.
And then the eyes come to you like, oh, wow, this girl's doing this, this, and that. How did she get that? On my own. And it's like,
I've been managing myself. I've been the actor, the producer, the set director, wardrobe, makeup, all the things.
But the fact that I'm able to get what I can with the little resources that I have.
Absolutely.
What can I do with someone who has the key to the door?
Right.
Like if we can just stop with the gatekeeping and get us to a level where we're in the same pool as like an Odessa, a Zion, like if we can just get seen, I mean, it would be a lot easier there
would be a lot more people on television that you and I and everyone else can relate to.
Yeah, because I'm not knocking the veterans. I love them, and that's why we do what we do, because we hear stories like of people making it later in life, and it's like never give up and never do these things, but we cannot get in the door, and that's really what it is. There's a tight circle. It's like who you know, and if you don't know them, you're not even getting the audition. Right. I'm hearing about a big project that's coming out. I'm like, well, that sounds amazing. I would have loved to be a part of that. But where's the audition? I can't see it online. So if you're not represented by someone who is getting that, you will never even be seen. Yeah. And it's like, I've been running in that rabbit, what is it? That
hamster wheel
for all these years, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, oh, I'm booking a commercial here. Oh, I'm booking a short film here, there, independent stuff. And it's like, okay, well, when do I level up? I've been doing it for so long. When is my time coming? Yeah, when is my hard work gonna show like everything that I've done? Right. I feel like I have nothing to show for all the years of hard work I put in.
Gotcha. So speaking of some of the projects that you've done, what are some of the big wins you've had in your career in 13 years? Because that's over a decade of work that you've put in. So talk to me.
I mean, I'm going to put this out there. I know people are going to attack me, but the whole thing about the manifestation.
Okay, don't attack her, okay?
Boards, right? The vision boards and the things. And it's just like, I don't know. I felt like I've always been so pessimistic because I'm like, does that really work for everyone, or is it just a coincidence? And like last year, I was like, okay, well, here are two of my main goals I want to achieve. I want to do this and I want to do that.
What were those goals?
And I did, girl.
Okay, what were those goals?
So one was to make it into one of the major festivals.
Okay, film festivals, okay.
Major film festival. And the other was to secure my first co-star role.
Yes.
These were just on the,
on the vision board, you manifested it.
And I booked both.
Amen. Yep. All right, cool. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Because
we can't talk about our wins with just anyone, right? So people in the industry get it.
So let's talk about it. So one, the film festival.
What film festival was it? Can you disclose?
South by Southwest. South by Southwest.
Okay.
And I submitted for an open call online by myself. Nice. And out of all the people, I booked it. And I remember just feeling like...
What was the role?
So it's a nice supporting role in this indie feature called Forge that screened. It premiered at South by Southwest.
Okay.
And it's amazing. Mm-hmm. But I remember I was doing a panel a We Audition panel at South by Southwest with the casting director, and he mentioned how it came about that they picked me.
Okay.
And so out of like, I think it was like 200, or I don't remember the number.
Wow.
Out of all the people, he brought it down to like 5. And then he was going to the director and he was like, I already have my pick. I'm not going to tell you who she is, but I'm going to show you these couple of tapes. The first one he showed was me, and she said, I don't need to see anymore. And
Is that not what you want in every audition that you do?
girl. But you see, like, imagine imagine if there were more opportunities like that, where it's just she made sure, she mentioned it in a magazine too, and she was like, we just believe in giving the role to the right person no matter what, because they had auditions come in from A-list celebrities, people that just wanted to work at the time, like it didn't matter, and they didn't book based off of celebratory status, and that was what was like, okay, I have a chance in this world.
What do you feel you did different in that audition that in your heart made you, that you're like, you know what, I deserved it because I did this thing that maybe all those other A-listers may have not have done or thought of?
Well, maybe they have or maybe they didn't, but I got off of set that day. I was on set of, I believe it was Married to a Baller, the first one,
okay,
I think, and I had just got off set. I was working all day, and I saw that audition come in, and it wasn't due for like 3 or 4 days. And when I got home,
you were already in hair and makeup. You had been doing this all day. It's just another day at the office for you.
I turned it in the same day that they sent the audition.
Okay.
And it was like, maybe I was the first person they saw, and they were like, okay, there's something here, but you know what I mean? But it was just something, there was like a fire in me. I was like, I'm already here. I've been working, like, this would be so amazing for me. Like, I'm not just going to be like, oh, it's due in 5 days. Okay, well, let me go to sleep and let me get some
because
rest.
then life happens. And then sometimes you're like, you know, right under the gun and you don't get it done, or you're doing it in a rush. So you're not in the right mindset. So that's amazing. I personally, there's a certain aura about when you're on set and you're living your passion, right? So I think maybe, you know, I don't know, call me clairvoyant or something, but I feel like maybe that was perhaps like what they saw in you, that you were already dressed the part, you know, whereas other people might have been, you know, trying to get their kids from school or paying, you know, just not in the right mindset, just stressed, you know, and I that's visible on camera.
That is so
That
true.
is so
Because the camera don't lie.
It does not lie. So I will definitely take that as one of the things that I'll do. That that's why it's nice to do several auditions in one day, right? And not just do that one, because you can knock them out and you're already in that mindset, right?
Exactly.
So that's
keep the machine going.
Yes.
But what about you? What have you achieved?
What
What's
about
on your
me?
bucket list?
Oh God. So I started 6 years ago because I also started stand-up comedy.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You are brave, girl.
Yeah. Thank you.
Brave.
Thank you. I was more brave getting out of that relationship that made me get into stand-up comedy. Okay.
Good
But
for you.
thank you. And so I decided that the arts was what it was for me. I started as a little girl at a ballet recital playing The Little Mermaid, and my parents just couldn't afford to continue paying for it. So I ended up going just the book route, right? Academia took over. I got a master's in communication disorders and decided this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Thank you. Self-made. It doesn't work on the dating apps though. Okay. Nobody cares about that. But I started venturing out. Once I did stand-up comedy, I did some improv classes, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of like the idea of being able to be the one, right? And I don't want to rely on other people. I don't want to rely on an audience. And what's going to happen when there's a dry season in comedy, right? When I'm not getting booked for those shows for whatever reason, right? And I needed something to balance comedy, so that as a creative, you need to be creative more than you're not creative, right? Because if not, that's when those voices start talking to me and I'm like, okay, we can't do this anymore. So I started auditioning and I started getting some extra
On your
roles
own?
on my own. I'm still on my own.
Oh.
Right. I am still on my own. And I feel like when it comes to management or being represented, I want to, how do I say this? I want to be able to connect.
Right. And attract what you're putting out.
Right. And so I want to be able to connect with a casting director or an agency that is going to put me in the best spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Not just any. Right.
Yeah.
Because like you, I've been grinding so much. Right. And as a stand-up comic, you're going out every night and then you're waking up to do your day job. And then at night or during the day, you're doing some audition tapes. And I don't know about you, but when you get those casting calls or when you see them on the apps or anything like that, do you find that I'm like, what do these casting directors think? Like that we're just like camera ready all of the time. I have to shower, I have to do my hair, I have to do makeup, I have to figure out what I'm going to wear. I have to set the stage.
Especially now that they're like, they want us to create the production for them.
Right, because we don't, there is no place to go to for an audition, right? Like they used to do maybe like a decade ago or before COVID, right? So it's like, I have to do all these things. And on top of that, I have to learn most of the lines or make it seem natural so that I'm not reading.
You don't have to memorize, but
But you have to memorize at least the first, the middle, and the last line, right? So when you have to do this entire production, here we have a sound person, we have professional cameras, we have hair and makeup and things like that. So when you have to do that all on your own and also perform, it's taxing.
It gets to be a lot.
So not to derail from the question you asked, in terms of goals, every year I've made it a point to say, I want to be in 2 films this year, or I want to book 2 major jobs this year. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I started doing a lot of like online commercials, and then I did some user generated like UGC stuff like that. And then I also was able to play like a great supporting role for this film called On the Run. Ooh. Okay. That is, I'm not sure when it's coming out because also I think about, I'm like, what are they doing? Where is it? On whose desk is it sitting on that I haven't gotten a trailer for it?
But I would love to hear your experience on that.
But
that's one of the things that you.
Yes. It was one of the most emotionally challenging roles I've ever played. And this is something that I also would like your take on. Yeah. Because it was one of the most emotionally challenging roles that I've played, I was mentally prepared for the role. I just wasn't mentally prepared for the aftermath, right? Because as a method actor, you have to get there. But then once the shoot is over, what happens? Right. Who's coaching you through that like emotional slope that you go through? Because those emotions are real. Yeah. So I spent the entire day after just shedding all of that. And I called my mom and I was like, I can't, it's because of you. And I was looking at a picture of you the entire time. And I had just like, I broke down. And then I was like, okay, after 48 hours, I was fine. Mm-hmm. And then I went through why isn't anyone calling? What am I going to do next? Right. So I went through that dry spell. Yeah. But have you had any emotionally challenging roles in your career so far? And how do you deal with the aftermath? How do you cope with that? Do you have a therapist?
No. I think I was just born insane. So
okay.
It's natural for me. No, but the first feature film that I had a lead role in, that was actually very taxing, mentally, psychologically. It's called A Place in the Dark. It's out. So
okay,
that one, in that role, she did have a lot of, psychological, mental things going on that I had never experienced in my life, in my personal life.
Okay.
So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't even know how I pulled that off, but somehow I found a way to make sure I knew where she was at every point in time because, we do shoot out of sequence. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I just knew at every point in time where she was within the storyline. And somehow I managed to, I don't know if I use the imaginary if and just put myself in certain situations. How would I feel if this actually happened to me?
Okay.
And my superpower, which is also a detriment, but I am a super
Your
empath.
virtue and your curse
I
is
am
you're an
a
empath.
super empath.
Me too. Me
And I
too.
take
Me
on other
too.
people's
Me too.
emotions, and
Here to the empaths.
Right.
Okay.
I take on all the emotions in the world.
Yes.
And I'm very, very sensitive. And so I was able to pull that out some way, somehow. And then as time went on and I would get better at acting or I would get more roles, different roles, now I'm able to scale back. So I'm one of those people who would always go there. And then I had nowhere to come back to. Now I'm able to go where I need to go and then be okay
Go back.
pulling back. And for me, the aftermath, how do I don't know how I get back to myself because I think I am always that way. That's the problem.
Okay.
So I feel like there's a really hard distinction between separation and the roles that I play because I feel them so deeply.
What was the role? What was the role, if you don't mind me asking?
For that one, for A Place in the Dark, she was she was a domestic violence abuse survivor. And she also, well, no.
Immediately, I just broadened my shoulders. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So domestic violence survivor, which I've never experienced.
Okay.
But, and I don't know. I mean, you could, I don't want to spoil it, but something happens in the end that, she didn't know could happen.
Where she maybe gets her power back.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because she didn't do what she was supposed to. She didn't make the right choice.
I mean, but that's life, though.
That's exactly
right. Most domestic violence survivors do not make the right choice.
And
right?
It's almost like there's nowhere else to go. Like that's all you got.
Okay.
So that was that. And there was another role. Man, I did this. It was like a little role, but it was so significant to the story. I don't even remember the name of the story right now, but I don't even think it came out, the project, but it was a very important role. And I was experiencing something that I had never experienced before, but I had to go there. And somehow I used something that happened to me in my personal life for that. And I remember I lost control that day.
In what way?
That had never happened to me before. In the role,
okay,
I went too deep with whatever had happened to me.
Like Heath Ledger in The Joker, too deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after, everyone on set, they were crying and they were consoling me, and they were like,
so they felt it behind the camera.
Yeah.
That's so would you consider going too deep? Like, why do you say too deep?
Because I at this point I wasn't in character anymore. And sometimes, the camera can tell when you break character because you're so consistent with what you're doing, and I'm saying my lines and I'm doing the thing, and now all of a sudden I'm just me. There's a huge you can see
there's a shift. Okay, but
and
I don't think people watching are gonna grasp it because I'm trying to dig a little deeper into it, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to what does that look like? What does that look like?
Sometimes it looks like, when they say, wow, that scene is so amazing. It was so good. Oh my God. How did you do it? And sometimes they're like, well, that was improvised, or, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. And it made the cut because it was so organic and it was so natural. It was like that scene in Sinners when they were in the car, when he was like, they were talking and they improv'd, and it was like, we just saw him be this amazing guy, and they were like,
shout out to Michael B. Jordan.
And I was like, hey, that wasn't even in there. That wasn't written.
That was off script.
It was beautiful. But me being the kind of person that I am, I knew before they even said that. When I watched it, I could see the shift.
Okay.
From his character, and then I'm like, something about this is just a way about it where you can tell that it's this was not scripted.
Okay, I have to check that scene out. I don't think I caught it, but they were in the car.
Amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So do you feel that where do you feel that shift in your body? Like, do you mentally go to another place, or are you like, do you have like a surge of emotion and that's what's coming through, or what is it?
It is both going to that place and having a surge of emotion, and now your body feels you're going into like fight or flight mode. It's almost like your body's like, I'm in danger, I'm in danger, I'm in danger.
Okay.
And I can't get out. It's almost like a panic attack. And you know how when you have like sleep paralysis or like one of those crazy dreams where you're like, it feels so real, but you can't get up and you can't move and you can't get out.
And you're screaming and no one hears you.
Yeah, it's almost like that. And it's so surreal because when you're in it, you don't know you're in it. So it's almost like a psychotic, like, I don't know, like a
break.
Yeah. Like, it's very bizarre, but it did scare me because I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that again.
So do you deter from doing roles like that? Like when you see them come up and when you receive those, are you like, you know what? I'm not.
No, I'm not scared of those kinds of roles, but I don't want to ever go over the cliff, if that makes sense.
Understood.
Like now I feel like, okay, I know where my limit is, and yeah, so I can just
navigate that better.
Yeah, navigate that better.
That has to be a wild experience when you're coming out of it, or that lucid moment that you have and you're like, there's a camera.
I know.
And there's people watching. And I wasn't in my room, right? Or in the bathroom crying or having this episode. This was in front of all of these people.
Oh yeah, it happened. It didn't only happen to me there. It happened to me on another set when I was filming this feature film in Brazil. So I'm all the way in the Amazon on a boat out in the water with strangers,
thousands of miles away from everyone that you know.
No phone, no service, no nothing, and I don't know these people. I mean,
the Amazon.
I love them now. They're
You're telling me stand-up comedy is brave, girl. Like, come on, give it up to yourself for that, because that was huge.
And I love my co-stars; they're amazing people, but I didn't know them back then. So to even go to that space and be so vulnerable and be so open is like the dedication to the craft, because I could have just like gone overboard and
literally gone overboard and just never been found. Yeah.
But it happened on that set and they were so supportive and so wonderful. Oh my God, I love them. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to Masi. Like, you guys protected me. But yeah, it's one of those things where like as time has gone on and I've progressed, I've realized, okay, I can do better. And so when my time comes for the bigger projects, you know, I'm ready.
Okay.
I know what I got.
So it's 2026. Yeah. We're 2 months in, right? 2.5 months in. There's a lot of that has happened in the world in 2 months, right? So I feel that I try not to get too caught up with what's happening in the news, even though I have my family constantly, you know, just calling me and letting me know and telling me. And it's like, how are you going to go to the show? It's like in the middle of nowhere, or you're going to go shoot this thing. And how do you know it's not one of like a casting couch?
Right.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, if I never go, I'm never going to find out. Right. So I try to remove myself a little bit from the chaos that's happening in the world so I can focus internally, right? Because that's the key. As just getting training in therapy and as a therapist myself, you have to look inward. If you're expecting some outward validation, you're never going to get it. People are going to disappoint you. And half of the people you know are not really supporting you. So let's just be honest, okay? So, but I try to just eliminate all of the outside noise and figure out what's next for me professionally, what I want to achieve. So 2026, I have said that I want to book, girl, I want to be like Flo from Progressive. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why that's a dream, but that's something that I want to do. And she's killing it. She's, you know, she's set for the rest of her life. Yes, Jake from State Farm, all these people, just because I feel I want to be on a bigger stage. So shout out to Bad Bunny. You know, I just wanted to say that, you know, because I feel like he paved the way for Latin America to be able to be on a stage that was strictly for just Americans, right? Which I
Love
feel
you, Benito.
we, like we do. I feel that we're all America, right? And I hadn't seen something like that before. I know Shakira and J-Lo had done it, but I felt like this was just a little more of like just representative of culture. And that's what I'm about. But so 2026, I want to be in a nationwide commercial, something that, that shoots, where everyone can see it. I don't know who watches, syndicated television anymore, but it's just a thing that I want to do. How about you? Any goals for you?
Well, actually, I need to bring it back to Benito.
Okay.
Because if there's any chance that he sees this, Benito, I met you one time.
Okay.
Really, but not really.
Okay. By proxy.
Me, but I remember you because you came out of the Sprinter van and you were coming into, it used to be called Studio Center.
Okay.
Right, in Miami. You were coming into the studio and I was leaving the studio and I seen you.
Okay.
This was before you blew up, my man. But I remember feeling your aura and I was like, this guy is special. There's something about this dude. He's coming in here. He's about to kill it. And he did. So I'm proud of you. And I know you won't remember me, but Studio Center.
Circa 20.
I don't remember. He should know.
Okay.
What did you record in Studio Center?
Okay.
No,
all right.
But yeah, my goals for this year, 2026. I mean, I want to see where management takes me. I want to have like you said, bigger stage. I want to go to the next level. I secured myself a South African visa because I just decided to do something crazy on a whim. Like, my goal is to be in the live action version of One Piece. And I know that they shoot in Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay.
So I went and got me a 3-year multiple entry work visa. And
nice.
I was like,
and in case things go awry, you have somewhere to go.
I'm in the position to get, the roles that I want, to do what I want to do. And, and hopefully, with this new management, see where that's also going to take me. And now that you mentioned 2026, I'm so excited because that first co-star role that I told you about that I booked last year, that show is finally dropping this year. It is called MIA.
Plug it, girl.
MIA. It is a crime drama thriller. It's going to be on Peacock. It's coming out May 7th. That's all I can say because NDA, but you'll see me on there on my first co-star.
Oh, that is amazing. So it's a film or feature film?
No, it's a show.
It's a series.
Yeah, on Peacock.
That's amazing. That's amazing,
and
girl.
Thank God I can say this now because they literally just dropped the deadline like 2 days ago. The deadline article. So.
Okay, so this interview was perfect. This was absolutely perfect.
Divine timing,
intervention. Oh God, love it.
Yeah, so the goal is just keep going, bigger, better, and again the change of pace. Like saying no more, respecting myself more, and not just doing every little thing that comes my way just because this is my life. So finding a life outside of this.
Are you a full-time actor?
Full-time.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing. Because I'm not a full-time actor or a comedian. I have my day job and then I moonlight as these things.
So that's good because if not, it can consume you.
It can. I need something to pay the bills, right? Because these things come in intervals, right? So I'm trying to make it more of my day-to-day. So that's awesome. A series on Peacock. I'm going to be so excited and celebrating for you.
To another show.
I already have Peacock, girl. I already have Peacock. Cool. That's awesome. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure.
That was amazing.
Girl and girl energy. Your skin is so soft. This is amazing. I wish you the best. I wish you what I wish for myself, which is for you to reach your potential and all of your dreams come true, right? We all want to have
special. When's your next?
So I'm working on, I already have a 30-minute set. I'm working on a venue that is going to shoot. Maybe ClearShot can shoot it for me. Who knows? It's putting it out there into the universe. And I did have a role in a film that should be coming out this year, but obviously NDA, so I can't really talk about it, which is also the pressure because you're I want to share this win with everyone. So by the time it comes out, I'm I'm already over it. What's the next thing? What's coming next? So 2026, come with all of your wonders because we want to be a part of it.
Yay.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. 2026, getting everything you want and more.
Yes, girl.